Hello everyone and welcome to Sandra's Crafting Corner. If you would, please subscribe to my channel and ring that bell. Also like, comment, and share. This video is part of the Inspired DIY Challenge hosted by Yelena Jenkins from Yelena Jenkins DIY and her co-host for this month, Elizabeth from Dandy Soap DIY. I will have both of their channels as well as the playlist listed in the description box below. My inspiration this month is from Courtney from Creative on the Cheap. She made this cute little farmer's market stand and I wanted to make one for my gingerbread village out front. I will put the link to this video in the description box below as well. On to the DIY. The items you'll need will be listed in the description box below. To start off, I took this happy fall sign from Dollar Tree and took off all the paper. It was easy because the glue had stopped working, but I sanded off any residual glue that there was. Next, I cut some 1x2s in these dimensions. Then I cut some beadboard into these dimensions here. Taking the color Milk Chocolate by Apple Barrel, I'm going to paint all of the beadboard pieces. To make sure the colors match, I'm going to first paint the sign with the white Adirondack. Now I'm going to paint the sign with the same exact milk chocolate color. I will need to paint both sides as well as the edges. Using my drill, I'm going to drill pilot holes so that way the board will have a less likely chance to split, even though it did anyways. I'm taking the 16-inch board and I'm attaching it to the 10.5-inch board to start making the frame for the stand. Before I screwed anything together, I made sure I put wood glue in all the joints. Next, we're going to turn it around and add another 16-inch board to the other side. Now you're going to do the same thing to the other 10.5-inch strip and put it on the top. You'll end up with a frame looking like this. Taking one of the frames that we just made, we're going to attach the 19 3/4-inch board to the bottom of the stand. We're putting one screw on top and one screw on the bottom so they don't spin. Flipping it around, we're going to add the other 19 3/4-inch board parallel to the last one. And here is the finished frame. Using a white Sharpie paint pen, I'm going to make it look like frosting around the edges of each one of the beadboards. I will do this to both sides of the sign as well. Next, I'm going to use a red Sharpie paint pen and add little hearts on each one of the corners. Now I'm going to use a green Sharpie paint pen and put little dots where the divots go down. Do this to all the beadboard and the sign. I made this decal with my Cricut. I will put that on the front part of the sign. Using the same heart, only bigger, I'm going to add it to all the other 3 panels. To make the countertop of the stand, I've cut some more of the beadboard in these dimensions. After painting it with the milk chocolate paint, I'm going to attach it to the top of the stand. I'll be doing this with my micro pin nailer. Next, I flipped it upside down and I will be adding this painter's tape to the top of the counter to make sure that when I drill a hole, I won't be shredding the top of it. Using this step bit on my drill, I'm going to make a 1-inch hole. However, if you use the same candy canes that I did from Walmart, you're going to want to do a 3/4 inch hole and not a 1-inch hole. I added painter's tape around where I wanted to stop the drill to make sure that I didn't go too far. I'm going to do the same thing to the other side. Because the countertop got a little bit shredded, I just took the bit and went down a little bit to take off those little shredded pieces. These next pieces will be put in to keep the candy canes from falling all the way through the holes. I will be attaching these using the Fix-All adhesive. What you're going to want to do is you're going to put it on all the pieces and then wait 15 minutes before putting them together. Because these candy canes had lights in them, I'm going to need to remove them. Next, I cut the candy canes to these dimensions. I basically just took off the curved part. Now that it's been 15 minutes, I'm going to attach all my pieces in the bottom of the stand. I'm going to attach these boards the exact same way I did the frame. Now I'm going to take my hot glue gun and fill up those PVC pipes with hot glue. Now I'm going to push the candy cane into it and try to keep it level until it dries. Do the same thing to the other hole. Pay no attention to these dimensions, they will change later on. However, the steps will still be the same with the smaller supports. I measured from the center of one candy cane to the center of the other to get my dimensions. I made sure to center that 17.5 inches, so it ended up making the center of this support be at 3 inches on both sides. I also took 2 hose clamps and drilled out the center of it for the screw. I will attach these to the center of the support. I had to drill a starter hole first though. I'm only screwing the hose clamp to the support, not the sign, not yet. Here are the true dimensions of the new supports. Next, I sanded off some of the paint so that way the wood glue would be gluing wood to wood. I was trying to get the screw to go through the panel without going all the way through the panel, so it's a very small window. I could not get the screw the right size, so therefore I tried to put wood glue and hot glue, and that still didn't work. You don't have to measure these. There's just 2 pieces of 1/4 inch luan, and I put those underneath the supports. That way I could use my micro pin nailer and nail them to the back of the sign. I simply hot glued the luan to the back of the sign and then tried to screw in a little bit of the support piece, and then that didn't work, so then I hot glued and wood glued, making sure they didn't touch each other, and glued that onto the luan, double checked my measurements, and then took my pin nailer and nailed it into place. The reason I had to add the luan was to make sure that my 3/4 inch micro pins didn't go all the way through the sign. Now I'm going to tighten down the hose clamps by just turning the screw to the right and make sure that it was tight, but also that the sign was level. Now it's time to add the panel to the front and the sides. I will be attaching them with my micro pin nailer. After a little touch-up paint, the project is finished. And here it is. Let me know what you guys think of it in the comments below. I love hearing from you guys. Now, just as a reminder, here's Courtney's on the left, and here is mine on the right. I will have Courtney's video linked in the description box below. If you head on over there, please let her know that I sent you. But most importantly, don't forget to check out Yelena and Elizabeth's channels. Those will be linked in the description box below, as well as the playlist for this challenge. If you're new here and like what you saw, please consider subscribing to my channel and ringing that bell to be notified of my future videos. If you're not new here, welcome back. Would you please like, comment, and share my video? Thank you, and take care.